Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. If you're new here, thank you for joining. My name is Sarah and I make a video once a week about makeup, what I have in my collection, beauty, lifestyle, all kinds of things. And one of my favorite types of videos to watch and to make are project pan videos. So if you are unfamiliar with project panning, it's just where someone picks a handful of items, whatever their number, mine is 5. So I'm always working on 5 items at once that I'm trying to completely use up. And I love project panning because it's a good reminder of how long it actually takes to use up particular items, but then it also helps me to work through items in my collection and make sure that I'm getting my money's worth and the most use out of the products that are just sitting there. So the way I've been doing mine is I have 5 things going at once, and I've been trying to choose items that are older in my collection or that I didn't feel like I was using a ton. So that's one way to do it. I mean, it's important to always enjoy the makeup that you're using every day, and I'm not saying that I don't enjoy these items, but there's one we're going to roll out today that I am so glad that I used up because I feel like you get your money's worth, and then you also have a really truly good understanding of how you feel about that product and can make a recommendation or decide if you want to purchase again or if someone should spend their money on it. So with all of that being said, let's jump into this month's Project Pan update. Alright, so the first item that we're going to check in on is the bronzer that I've been working on. It's the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I have a mini one that I got years ago at like TJ Maxx or Marshalls, and I am really excited. This is what we're looking at. There's very little of it left. I'm really proud that I have consistently used this, and also this is a product that I really enjoy. I always knew that I liked it. It's a good color, as I've said a million times before. It's not too orange, it's not too gray. It's a perfect bronzing and contouring shade, so I like that I can use it all over my face for all those things. I've been getting really great use out of it, and this is, like I said in the intro, a reminder that this was a mini product, and I have had this in my project pan for the entirety of 2023 so far. So the fact that it takes that long to use up a mini of something is just something to keep in your mind for when you are tempted to purchase something, when you're out shopping, or just kind of spur of the moment things. So this is what we're looking like. I really think that next month this will be finished. I feel like I made a lot of progress between last month and this has obviously also been repressed. So there's just a very thin layer of what's left, and there's already little baby spots of pan peeking through, and like new ones kind of show up every day. So really excited about this. I do enjoy using this product, so yeah, I think the timing will work out to where next month maybe this will be a rollout. The next item I've been working on is also a face powder product, and it is from my original Hourglass Trio palette, and it is this middle shade, which I believe is Incandescent Light. I had finished this like all over face finishing powder a while ago. I worked on the more bronzy shade in last year's project pan, so if you want to check that out, I'll have that playlist linked below. And this year I've been working on the middle shade, which is more of the highlight and like all over brightening shade. Again, I feel like I made a lot more progress on this month than I was anticipating. I have said ever since I rolled this in the beginning of 2023 that I was kind of fine with realizing that this was going to take the entire year for me to use up. But now that we're at the end of August and it's looking like this, I don't know if it's going to take me the rest of the year. I might finish it right before the end of the year. I don't know, but it's just how I've been using it is I do a really light dusting and kind of just do my forehead and like my nose area, and then I'll use it to do my brow bone highlight and occasionally highlight the rest of my face if that's what I'm feeling that day. But I definitely feel like, you know, every month I kind of inch a little bit closer, and flatten out the dome or like the kind of raised part. So you can see there's like still a little bit of a bump on this bottom part, but the top has totally flattened out. So I really don't think there's that much product left in here. And yeah, I can't wait to finish it, even though I've enjoyed using it, just because then the entire palette will be used up, and I've never done anything like that before. So hopefully this will keep going as quickly as it did this month. My next item is one that I rolled in, I believe, last month. So it's a newer item in my project pan, and it is the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Powder Foundation. And I will say I don't regret rolling this in, but I feel like the timing wasn't quite right because I have this in the shade 30 Warm Nude. So it's not looking terribly dark on camera, but I definitely feel like as we get towards the end of summer and I'm not spending as much time out by the pool and I'm losing my tan, that this is becoming too dark and too orange for me very quickly. So, which is unfortunate because I would love to have used this up. I've had this in my collection for a very long time now. You can see I do have a little bit of pan in the middle. So that is, you know, making me optimistic, and it's nice to see progress. I just don't know realistically how long I can keep using it before it's just way too dark for what I, you know, realistically can do. But I'm gonna keep chugging along on this. I'm gonna use this for as long as I can. I might not be able to use it up in this project pan. I might have to roll it out and then roll it back in next summer when I have a tan again. But to go in conjunction with that, I'm not saying I'm rolling this into the project pan, but to kind of lighten it up, I have been kind of mixing it with my e.l.f. camo. So you can see the color difference. So those together works a little bit better. So I'll kind of keep doing that so I can keep using this, and I'll just use less of this and kind of mix them together and make more of that custom color because this is a little too light for me now. So that's kind of where I'm at. I don't really have a powder in my collection that's the like in between shade that I am right now, but I don't think I want to go spend money on something like that because it's something I would only need for like a month or two. But yeah, so we will see how much further I can make it on this before I just realistically have to roll it out. So it's kind of unfortunate. I should have maybe rolled this in at the beginning of summer and not used up my translucent powder and kind of saved that for now, but it's okay. It is what it is. That's, you know, one of the things about project panning, lessons learned. The next item that I have been focusing on in my project pan is this Buxom lip liner. So I will take the cap off, and I believe last month I had sharpened it down to the B. So now we're down to the U. It'll focus. So I think that's pretty good progress. Like I said in the last video, if I can sharpen it down at least a letter every month, I think that that is really great progress. And I don't know how far down I'll be able to sharpen it and still have it be like usable. Luckily, the other end is just a brush, so this cap on the end kind of gives you a little bit more like hold on it than if it was just the pencil. It would start to get really hard. So at least there's that to kind of hold on to. So even when it gets really, really stubby, I should still be able to use it. I've enjoyed this so far. I think what has helped me use it a little quicker each month is that I've been using it as a cream blush as well. So I will just kind of draw a little bit on the back of my hand and then pick that up with a like dense blush brush and pat that on as my cream blush for the day. And I think it works really well. It's a subtle color, even though it kind of looks a little dark in the pencil, but it works really well as a blush. It's what I'm wearing today. You can see it's just a little bit of color, but it's pretty subtle. But it goes with most looks, especially this time of year when we're transitioning from summer to fall. And then of course I also use it as a lip liner. So that's what I have lining my lips today. So yeah, I've been enjoying this, and yeah, hopefully I can keep making at least the same amount of progress, if not more every month, and maybe finish this by the end of the year. The last item is my empty. I think this is no surprise to anyone. I kind of mentioned last month that this was probably going to happen regardless, and it is the Bite Changemaker Foundation. You can see like I've really squeezed as much as I can out of it. I said I wasn't going to cut this open and use it. I was just going to use it till I couldn't really squeeze any more out, and that's what I did. I had the shade L20. As we all know, Bite went out of business, so you can no longer purchase this anyway. And I will say, even if you could, I would not recommend this, and I would not purchase it again for myself. I didn't hate it when I was using it. I never want to actually like hate pan anything, but as I used it more and more, I just kind of was like, I'm glad I'm using this up, but it's not really my favorite formula. I think I tried to describe it in one of my previous videos. It was this like kind of weird texture that was like a mixture of like kind of moussey, but it also felt a little greasy at times. And I don't know if that's because I bought it when Bite was going out of business and maybe this was an older item that, you know, they were just trying to push out. It did say, I don't know if there's an expiration date on it. It says 12 months. So I know I've had this for more than 12 months, but just barely. So I don't know. It was just not my favorite, but I'm glad that I used it up. Also, the color, like the Maybelline powder, was starting to get a little too dark for me. So I think I used this up just in the nick of time. So now I'm excited to roll this out, put it in my empties bin, and to roll in a new item into this project. So I don't have a rule in my project saying that when I roll out a certain product type that I have to roll in the exact same one. So because I finished a foundation, I don't have to roll in another foundation. I can just pick anything that I feel like working on. And originally I thought I was going to roll in a foundation, but honestly, I've been using this one pretty nonstop since the beginning of the year. So I feel like I want to take a break from really focusing on a foundation and kind of give some attention and love to all the other foundations in my collection without feeling, you know, obligated to a certain one. So I think I'm going to take some time and do that and not roll in another foundation to this project. Instead, I'm going to roll in another lip item. I am going to stick with the Bite theme though. As I said in my intro, I am trying to work through some of the older items in my collection or items that you can't get anymore, and Bite is just one of those things. So I have this little mini lipstick dual-ended thing. So on one end is the shade Date, which, you know, it's kind of getting, it's a little low. I used this a lot when I first got it. And this actually is the color that I'm wearing on my lips today. So it's just a nice pink nude everyday shade, which is why I think it will be relatively easy for me to pan. And then on the other side is the shade Fig, which is a little bit more pink. I'm going to be focusing mostly on Date starting out, but I am going to use Fig whenever, you know, I feel like that as well. And hopefully, you know, this is a mini, extra mini really. So I'm hoping that I can use this up by the end of the year and be able to roll out another Bite beauty item from my collection. And this is another product where I feel like either side I could use as a liquid blush in the same way that I'm using the lip liner. I could just pat a little bit onto the back of my hand and dab it on with a brush, and hopefully that would work out, especially that brighter pink side. So that might be another way for me to kind of get some more use out of this. So I'm excited to roll in this new item, roll out this foundation finally, and start working through all of these items as we move into fall. Thank you for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Leave a comment below to let me know if you're doing any project panning this year and how it's going for you. Please subscribe so that you get notified for all of my upcoming videos. I post one every Thursday. And I will see you all in next week's video. Bye.